Hi, I'm attorney Renee Osipov with Chelle Law, and we assist veterinarians with employment contract issues. Today, I'm answering the question, in a veterinary employment agreement, should a veterinarian receive reimbursement for their CME or continuing their education? The answer is yes, they should. If they're considered an employee, this is one of those business expenses that they should be reimbursed for. This typically looks like an employment contract. You're normally given some type of, we call it CME or CE allowance. And it's an annual amount that you can receive. Sometimes it's just paid directly to you. Sometimes it's most likely it's reimbursement. But how this works is that you sign up for your continuing education and your employer will reimburse you up to a certain amount. But let's talk about that actual amount. So normally it's going to be a range anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 annually. The reason why the employer typically picks this up or reimburses you, you need your license in order to practice and provide services in order for them to, collect on those services. And so in order for you to do your job, this is something that you need. And so that's why that they reimburse you for it. A couple of things you also want to look out for regarding your continuing education. One, you want to know, are you given additional PTO days? So if you go to a conference, are you going to have to use your vacation time, or are you going to be provided additional days that's paid time off? This typically is anywhere from 3 to 5 days. So it's an additional on top of your normal vacation or PTO time. The other thing you want to look out for, I've seen it a couple of times in an employment contract. It may state that if you don't fulfill that year or the initial term of the contract, you may have to pay back that CME reimbursement. So it's kind of rare, but I have seen it. So you just want to make sure that that's something that you're looking out for. And then also kind of going down the line too, normally if you are in any sort of professional organization that might have continuing education opportunities as well, those would also be reimbursed. So again, if it's something that you need in order to provide services, then you should be reimbursed or given an allowance. And I would say the more specialized you get into veterinary medicine, the more allowance you're given for CMEs. Another thing that's kind of closely related to that is board expenses. So if you just graduated and you're studying for your boards, sometimes you get actually paid time off anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks. And then any of your board certification or board expenses or materials that you're studying, any of that, that also can be reimbursed from your employer. But again, anytime you're receiving large amounts of funds, there's normally some type of strings attached to it. So you want to be careful, read your contract very carefully. There's normally a period of forgiveness. So it's, normally you have to be employed for any, time from 1 to 3 years. And if you terminate your employment within that time, you may have to pay back a portion or all of that amount. For board expenses, that's normally always listed in there. CME, it's a little bit more rare, but I have seen it. And if they're not offering CME expenses or reimbursement, that's definitely something that you want to ask for. Because it is typical within your industry to reimburse veterinarians for this. It just is. If you'd like more information on this or you have any other further questions, you can check out our website at Chelle Law, CHELLE law.com. Our contact information is on there as well. We're happy to set up a consultation with one of our attorneys. So thanks.